To begin this evening on a thoughtful note, may I request everyone to kindly rise for a moment of silent prayer. Thank you. Please be seated.
Now, to formally welcome you all and set the tone for the evening, I invite Mr. B. Balagopal, Chairman, Memorial Lecture, to deliver the welcome address and introduce the speakers. Sir, the stage is yours.
Vice President of Kerala Management Association and the Acting President for the day, Sri Dilip Narayanan, Professor Ommen Mathew, who will do with the remembrance speech, and keynote speaker, Dr. J. Letha, Honorary Secretary KMA, Sri Anil Verma, past presidents of KMA, members of the management committee, KMA members, students, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Kerala Management Association has instituted this memorial lecture on from 2018, the very next year after the demise of Dr. V Pylee, to celebrate the lives and times of Dr. V Pylee, who is considered as the father of management education in Kerala. Decorated with Padma Bhushan in 2006 for education and management, Dr. V Pylee was the founding director of the School of Management Studies, University of Cochin, in 1964. Later, he became the Vice-Chancellor of the Cochin University of Science and Technology, which later came to be known as CUSAT. An authority on constitutional law, Dr. V Pylee is a Fulbright scholar at Harvard and a prolific author. We have today Professor Ommen Mathew, founder and first director of the Institute of Management in Government, Kerala, set up in 1981 by the Kerala government at Thiruvananthapuram. IMG is the state's apex training institute for civil servants for capacity building, policy research, management training for government officers, and for management training in government offices. If Dr. V Pylee heralded the academic side of management education as early as in 1964, it was Professor Ommen Mathew later built the government training side in IMG for in-service officers and officers in public administration. So it's only appropriate that we have Professor Ommen Mathew, who will be delivering the remembrance speech today. Let me extend a very warm and wholehearted welcome to Professor Ommen Mathew. Ladies and gentlemen, we are today blessed to have a brilliant academician in Dr. J. Letha, who has dedicated her life for research and engineering, innovation, and establishing centers of excellence in association with large corporates. After a brilliant academic career, with third rank in BTech from Kerala University, gold medal for MTech from IIT Madras, and PhD from IIT Madras, Dr. Letha has more than 60 technical papers to her credit. She has more than 35 years of experience in teaching undergraduate and postgraduate students of engineering. Her administrative experience is equally varied and illustrious. She was the principal of the College of Engineering Trivandrum from 2007-2011, Director of Technical Education, Government of Kerala from 2011 to 2014, Vice-Chancellor of the Cochin University of Science and Technology, CUSAT, from 2014 to 2018, and presently, she is the Prof. Vice-Chancellor, JAIN deemed to be university from April 2019 till date. All these institutions have achieved significant milestones during her tenure. I must be excused for narrating all these accomplishments for want of time, but I will be failing in my duty if I don't mention a few of them. She has established centers of excellence and centers of competence in automation technology in government engineering colleges and polytechnics by collaborating with Bosch Rexforth Private Limited in 2014. Formed CUSAT Knowledge Forum so that researchers and teachers will have a common forum, common platform, and discuss on research topics. Established technology business incubators under Center of Innovation, Technology Transfer and Industrial Collaborations, Patent Facilitation Center, to cater to the patent filing needs of the researchers of all universities of Kerala and CUSAT in 2015. With these words, ladies and gentlemen, I have great pleasure to extend a very, very warm welcome to Dr. J. Letha, who will be delivering the V Pylee Memorial Lecture. I extend a warm welcome to KMA Vice President C. Dilip Narayanan, Honorary Secretary C. Anil Verma, respected past presidents, MC members, members of the KMA, students, and all the invited guests. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for that warm welcome and introduction. Next, it is my privilege to invite Mr. Dilip Narayanan, Vice President of KMA, to deliver the presidential address. Sir, may I request you to address the gathering?
Distinguished Chief Guest, Dr. J. Letha, Distinguished Professor Ommen Mathew, Memorial Lecture Committee Chairman, Mr. Balagopal, Advisor to the Memorial Lecture Series, Mr. A.C.K. Nair, Honorary Secretary Anil Verma, and my dear KMA members, Managing Committee members, Student Chapter members, good evening. I am acting on behalf of President K. Harikumar, who could not join us today. For KMA, at KMA, this is indeed MB Pylee, Dr. MB Pylee Memorial Lecture is a deep responsibility. It's not just another calendar, an event in the KMA calendar. It's a moment of reflection, a moment to remember a scholar who shaped thought, influenced institutions, and contributed meaningfully to the intellectual fabric of our society. Professor Pylee was not merely an academic. He was a builder of minds. There is a famous quote, "A good teacher gives answers. A great teacher asks questions." From everything we know about Professor Pylee, he belonged to the second category. He encouraged inquiry, not just instruction. And I think our distinguished both Professor Letha and Professor Ommen also belong to this category. A Padma Bhushan awardee, a recipient of our own KMA Management Leadership Award, and a pioneer in management education in India. But beyond all these recognitions, what truly defines Professor Pylee's legacy is the way he thought about education. His work reminds us that education is not about information alone. It's about shaping judgment, character, and the capacity to think independently. It is therefore more appropriate that today's theme is modern trends in education. As all of you will agree, education system today stands at a critical inflection point. We are witnessing transformation that is both exciting and at times a little unsettling for all of us. Technology is redefining how knowledge is accessed. Artificial intelligence is beginning to influence how we learn and even what we learn. Attention spans are shrinking while information is expanding at an unprecedented scale. But despite all, or amidst all these changes, we must ask, all of us, the professional managers and business leaders, must ask ourselves a fundamental question. Are we becoming more knowledgeable or merely more informed? Because, as Professor Pylee believed, education in its truest sense is not about the accumulation of data. It's about the ability to think, ability to question, to connect, and to act with wisdom. And that is where the relevance of leaders like Professor Pylee becomes even more profound today. He represented an era where depth mattered more than speed, where scholarship meant rigor, not just access, where education was a lifelong pursuit, not a transactional outcome. And perhaps that is the balance we need to consciously preserve in our discussions, in our thinking. Technology should and must remain a tool, not a substitute for thinking. Speed must enhance learning, not replace depth. And access must lead to understanding, not just consumption. Institutions, educational institutions and organizations like KMA today carry a larger responsibility than ever before, not just to produce graduates and managers, but to shape individuals who can navigate complexity, who can make ethical decisions, and who can contribute meaningfully to society. And that requires a delicate balance, a balance between innovation and values, between technology and human insight, between global relevance and local rootedness. In this context, we are indeed fortunate to have with us Dr. J. Letha, an accomplished academic leader who has been at the forefront of higher education, guiding institutions through change while preserving academic integrity, and who had been fortunate to get inspired from Professor Pylee. We look forward to hearing her insights this evening. Before I conclude, let me invite all of you to our next program, the next flagship program on 22nd April, that is coming Wednesday, Muthoot FinCorp KMA Green Palm Sustainability Summit, which will be held in Taj Vivanta, Ernakulam, at 5 p.m. So on that day we will be honoring all the Green Palm Sustainability Award winners. Plus, chief guest is Mr. Siddharth Sharma, CEO of Tata Trust, who amidst all this controversy, considering the Tata Trust, he's agreed to come and he will be delivering the keynote address. GRI South Asia Director, Dr. Aditi Haldar, she will be delivering the keynote address, and JC Paul and JC Paul of SBI, and Frederick Royan of Frank and Sullivan from London, the global jury members, they will also be joining. So the program will start exactly at 5 o'clock. We have arranged some little bit of entertainment also. By around 8 o'clock we'll conclude for the dinner. So those who are not registered, and there is no registration fee, but prior registration is mandatory for the head count. So please do that if you are not done with the secretariat or at the QR code that this has been circulated. So thank you all for coming on this day, and keep coming for KMA programs. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words. As we pay tribute to the legacy of Professor Dr. V Pylee, I now invite Professor Ommen Mathew, founder, Head, Institute of Management and Government, Cochin, to deliver the remembrance speech.
Distinguished VIPs on and off the dais, a very good evening to all of you. My task today is slightly different from the task that normally people get in any situation like this, the remembrance speech. So, sorry. It's not to be an academic exercise, but it cannot be non-academic also. I was fortunate to be a member of the third batch of full-time MBAs under Professor Dr. Pylee. And I also worked as a faculty in the School of Management when Professor Dr. Pylee was the Vice-Chancellor. And when I left the university and joined the Institute of Management in Government, on that interview also, he was one of the members. But you'd be interested about knowing more about his personal things. Everybody knows that he was a Smith-Munt scholar from Harvard. It was in 1952-53. I think there are very few people here who were born at that before that time. He was a student of the Pulinkunnu School. It's in Kuttanad. There was an engineering college there. Once I went for a one-day program there. During the lunchtime recess, I just went out for a walk. I went to school, so school there. I just went in out of curiosity. And I found on the scholars list is Dr. Pylee. It was not Dr. Pylee, was a third standard, fourth standard student there. So from Pulinkunnu to Harvard is a journey that he has made. And I came back to India. He was a very good post. He was a director at the Administrative Staff College of India, Bella Vista, Hyderabad. And it is from there that he came to Kerala. Even before coming to Kerala, he was counted as one among the top leaders of management. But in Kerala, he definitely was the father of management education. When he came here, there was no structure available at all, especially when he was coming from an organization like Administrative Staff College of India. The infrastructure here was not even minimal, but it never dissuaded him. He became very friendly with the FSCT, the whole of FSCT, especially the managing director, the then managing director. You know who he was. And the institute started in the FSCT training school in a small way, giving a diploma in management. And the late Mr. M.K. there used to give all the support and facilities for him. And slowly, it separated from Kerala University. It became Cochin University of Science. Then to start with, it was Cochin University. Then it became Cochin University of Science and Technology. School of Management was established. He was the founder director. Then he converted the diploma program into a degree program. Still, it was an evening program, 3 years. And in 1973, he started the first full-time MBA program, 73-75. So I was fortunate enough to get into the 75-77 batch. Okay. And I remember how he used to deal with various people, students again, full-time students, part-time students. And the part-time students of Yo were very, very different from the part-time students of the present, who were really senior people from their organizations. And Professor Dr. Pylee would stand near that spiraling staircase, because the evening class was at 6:30. And you would have come there in the morning at 9 o'clock. Of course, you would have gone for lunch at about 2 o'clock. Only after the afternoon batch, the full-time batch starts. Then you would have lunch and have a 1 hour sleep, a nap, then come back before 6:30. You'll be there. So definitely, the part-time people, not because of their laziness, there was somebody coming a little late. Then he'll be at the winding staircase. Somebody will be rushing. Then, where do you think you're going? Look at the class. Which class? MBA, but second year. But what time is your class? 6:30 is there. What time is now? 6:42. When I say class starts at 6:30, it's a 6:30 and not 6:31. You understand? Yes, sir. but he will not say, just go. But sir, but you see, your contribution for that social forestry program is well appreciated. Congratulations for that. He's telling the same person. So he started with the firing, but he'll never leave anybody with the firing. That is nature. Okay. He's dealing with the colleagues of very, very different. Is what a CA called Mr. Panikar. Panikar, the list he'll call just some faculty member at random. Come. So he said, use the real names that many of you may even know, identify the people. So I refrain from that. So Panikar, you call this and this person's at the tea break. Okay. Will come. Yes, Mr. X, your class at that Indian Aluminium program was fantastic. Very good reports I'm getting. Congratulations. Oh, the person becomes very happy and sit down. But I like to ask you, in the last 3 months, how many papers have you published? So in the last 3 months, no papers. Okay, in the last 6 months, how many papers have you published? Last 6 months also no papers. Okay, how many papers in the last 1 year? Last 1 year also no papers. Have you heard publish and perish? It is not publish and perish, it is publish or perish. When can you publish a paper and so on? Not a common paper article, but a paper, academic paper, in a Lafayette journal. Okay, 6 months, sir. Okay, 6 months. You have to meet me with the paper, copy of the paper. Okay. Then he'll send the person. Similarly, he will meet at least 1 or 2 people, that faculty members that way. Then full-timers, he'll catch somebody, part-timers catch somebody. Then every way of dealing with everyone, including his wife. The emergency was declared in 1975. The reports came. That evening he called his wife and said, Elsie, I got some news for you. Oh, he said, everybody knows the news. Emergency declared. No, something for you. A job for you. You will be my collaborator. What is that? So he was getting about 6 papers at home, and more we can get from the library also. All those 6 newspapers, English and Malayalam, you go through, and anything slightly related with emergency, you either make a paper cutting or jot down. Keep it a separate file. He gave a file also. And within 1 month, and she used to do a very tremendous job also, within 1 month after the emergency was lifted, all those things were available, and he published a few articles and a book. That's how we used to look at things. And even after I left the university also, he used to be in touch with him, most of us. And in our institute, in addition to the Kerala state programs, the Government of India's sponsorship, we can do program. Only thing is we got to send the proposals, and all proposals will not be accepted. But novel proposals will be accepted. So I once sent a different program, management of tourism. It's immediately accepted, and the money comes from Government of India, to good. And at that time, the kids, Kerala Institute of Travel and Tourism Studies people, my friends only, they made a hue and cry about it. They came and met our director, Mrs. Padma Ramchandran, the first lady chief secretary of the state also, incidentally. You are doing this management of tourism program, and we are there, the institute is the only one. You only conduct test management and air travel, ticket construction and things like that. Somebody doing a management program, you had all the opportunity, you didn't do that. Some of my people are doing it, so don't complain. Okay, support. Okay, that was the big news. Next day I met Dr. Pylee said, it's very good that you're doing this program, but again, he is also always oriented to publications. I have published a paper in a book on tourism. No, sir. At least one paper. No, sir. Next time you should publish a paper. Okay, manage the local art paper. And next time I met, I said, sir, if a beginner, junior like me goes for this thing, people may not accept. A senior person like you should write this thing on tourism. He said, just give me a challenge, I accept it. Next time, he used to go to US to meet his daughters and all that. And he went to US and came back. He wrote a book, Tourism Amerikil, in Malayalam. And totally he has written about 12 major books in English and equal in Malayalam also. And India's constitution in English, that is internationally accepted, celebrated, referred to even now. The other thing, there is one called one of the books, Russia of my experiences, Introduction to Managerial Economics, Tourism in America. I think different fields he has written, he has touched. In Malayalam also he has written, Sevanathinte Rajapathayil, that is actually an autobiography. Managemental Thoyilali Pangalatham, worker participation in management in Malayalam. Then even after his official retirement as Vice-Chancellor, he immediately took up the Director Generalship of Asian Institute of Development and Entrepreneurship. Okay. So he's dealing with different people. That is what we remember with pleasure. And friends, but basically we all think of him as a teacher. And now the common practice is referring to everybody who ever taught you for one class as a guru. No, that's wrong. Indian traditional wisdom classifies teachers into 4 groups. The first one is Shishagaha, where instructors. You will not say anything wrong, but you just instruct what is there. Second one is Adhyapaka, second higher level. They will instruct and explain. And the third level, still higher level, is Ubadhyaya. Ubadhyaya will instruct, explain, and give other references, cross references, and all those kinds of explanations, the highest level. And above that, the final stage is Guru. Guru means the one who will inspire. And Dr. Pylee was always, we should remember him, not at any other level, but as a Guru. Okay, Guru, Pranam.
Thank you, sir, for those heartfelt words. And now, the moment we have all been eagerly waiting for. It is my honor to invite our esteemed speaker for the evening, Dr. J. Letha, Pro Vice-Chancellor, JAIN deemed to be University, Kochi, and former Vice-Chancellor, CUSAT, to deliver the Memorial Lecture on Modern Trends in Education. Ma'am, we are delighted to have you with us. The stage is yours.
Thank you. Most respected President of the function, Mr. Dilip Narayan, Vice President, KME, Professor Ommen Mathew, who has given a very elaborate memorial speech, Mr. Balagopal, who has welcomed us all, Mr. Anil Verma, Honorable Secretary, KME, and distinguished participants, my dear colleagues, my dear student friends. First of all, let me thank you for inviting me for such an honorable function, because Pylee sir is very close to my heart also. I should admit that before joining CUSAT as Vice-Chancellor, I did not have much knowledge about Pylee sir. But once I joined CUSAT, I had that fortune to know him very much. He used to visit me also frequently, give me many advices. As Ommen sir was saying, all his advices always inspired. And he was truly a visionary who thought beyond times. Anyway, my topic was modern trends in education. But if I put it across to you, it will be very boring, because Gopinath sir said he is not in the education field. So many of you would not be in the education field. So what I thought was how this trends evolve according to my journey. That would be what I would be telling you. Very simple way. When I don't go to school education, of course, I was thinking the transformation in education has happened very, very slowly. At least in India or in Kerala, I would say. Because the transformation happened from Gurukula system. And now when I look in JAIN University, are we going back to Gurukula? I would say why. So when I joined engineering, we were the first experimental batch, because semester system, for the first time, it was introduced into engineering. So when something new is introduced, as you know, there will not be, it will be an experimental batch, and there will not be much of a structure into that. So it almost took 8 months to complete one semester. And like that, I joined engineering in 1976, and I finished it in 1981. It is not that I had some back papers or anything. So that was the way the system was evolving. And of course, it was only blackboard, and the teacher will come, dictate notes, right? Derivations all will be written on the board. We will have to write it down, mostly remembering, without knowing what is its practical aspect or whatever. We never connected it. And I don't blame the teachers. That was the system of education. Why we are learning all this? I was a civil engineer. So why I am learning the design? It is because for the examination. Always it is for the design is, why I learned the design is I have to put it on the paper in the examination, and then I score the marks. That was the only purpose, or that was what I thought. Might be students might have thought it in different way, I don't know. Then anyway, I thought that it is incomplete. That time itself, I have not learned civil engineering to its fullest extent. So I went for MTech in IIT. Totally different experience I got, because IIT was like, its ambience itself was totally different. Just like a Tapovanam, we will feel. And all the professors were also so much knowledgeable. I would bow in front of Mathew sir, who was professor in building technology. And it was already the grade system. It was not the absolute grade system, relative grade system. We were not knowing about that. So first thing is, in engineering college, what we enjoyed was, first we will have the, as I said, the academic delivery. Then we will be given study leave for around 2 weeks. That is why it took 8 months to complete one semester. here, when we went, it was timely conduct of examination. There will not be, the calendar is set. Before we start the semester itself, the calendar is given to the student. In that calendar, when is the first assignment will be given to you, when is the submission date, when is the first quiz, when is the second quiz, and when is the examination. All the calendar will be ready on the first day. That was something new to me, a structure I am seeing in education. And it was not only that, they kept it so much that the timeline is never broken. So that time itself, I thought that if at some point of time, if you have a chance, we have to emulate such system in Kerala, in government engineering college or any engineering college. That was the thought which came to my mind. And also when we had to do project thesis MTech towards the end. Then of course, computer, we could not see what is a computer. It will be housed in a very big room. We have to punch cards and give it, and then wait till evening, I think. We will come in the evening, then there will be a big sheet of paper. Paper will be given to us. We will have to look into it. Syntax errors will be there. Logical errors will be there. Then again go with the bunch of punch cards, all those things. It was all new to me. Then I entered into teaching profession. First I joined in NIT Calicut. At that time it was REC, Regional Engineering College. Calicut was my first beginning of the academic journey. I joined there, but with in 1 year itself I got PSC selection and joined College of Engineering, Trivandrum. Then I thought that more interactive. Somehow I felt that the teacher just looks at the blackboard, looks at the just does the derivation, never looks at the students. That was what I felt. So I thought that I would interact with the students more. That is required. From our students' life, we learn something which is lacking. So that we practice when as a teacher. So going into the students, whether they understood it or not, that was all practiced. Only nobody taught us, and there was no induction training which we give now. Nothing was there. First day itself, we are given one subject, go and teach. There will be 60 students in the class. How to attend everyone was all big task for us. Then slowly, we knew that we have to update our knowledge level so that out of syllabus also, extra from not only confine our knowledge to the syllabus, we have to teach them out of syllabus. Then how it can be standardized, that was really worrying me also. So when I became the dean, J. Krishnan sir was the Vice-Chancellor of Kerala University. That time engineering colleges were affiliated to different universities. So College of Engineering Trivandrum was affiliated to Kerala University. So that time I went to J. Krishnan sir. He was another visionary who always accepts whatever modern trends we can introduce. I said, why we are even now with this mark system? When I was in IIT itself, by that time I had finished my PhD also. In between, again I went to IIT. I saw the changes in IIT and all, and I came back. So I was really worried why we are not even very much behind IIT. So I told J. Krishnan sir, why can't we adopt credit system? He said, you bring a proposal, we will adopt it. So that was the way he welcomed it. So the first time we introduced the credit system, grading, lot of objection was there. So we had to depend on absolute grading system, that is just marks converted into grade. I think now it is relative grading. So there was a fear of that to change. That was the, and then I thought that when we were doing PhD itself, after doing PhD, after doing research, it is kept in the shelf. Nothing is getting transacted to the society. That gap is always there. How it can be transferred into society was also worrying me. And first thing which we did when I was principal of engineering college, what I thought was we will, that because why I got that idea, it was not my own idea. I had a chance to visit IIT Madras under the leadership of Dr. Anand. He was the director at IIT that time. They had started an industrial research park. Even now it is functioning beautifully. This industrial research park, they asked me to visit. So that was really an inspiration. Why can't industries come to the academics and do research in some portions or in some areas allotted to them? And why can't teachers and students also become part of this research? So that time, Baby Sir was the education minister. And he is also a highly visionary person. I am not saying about the politics or anything, but he is highly visionary. I went to him and said, sir, why can't we start a research park? He said, oh, go ahead, you bring the proposal. That was how the Trivandrum Engineering, Science and Technology Park, Trust Research Park, was conceived and was established. But I would say that politics played a high role after that, and it is not functioning as the Industrial Research Park in IIT. Then I became the Director of Technical Education. This Trust Research Park has not become a success. So what we did was, I thought we will introduce a course. Translational engineering course was introduced. That is, even now it is very well progressing. Whoever is working in industry can come and attend this course. They can get a degree as well as they can do the projects which are there in their hand. That is the real life projects which the departments have to do can be done, and that can be the project which they do it. That is how this translational engineering course was introduced. There were a lot of, by that time, Kerala University agreed that they will give a degree, but how this degree can be given, all those questions again came. In which area we will give, because whether it is mechanical, whether it is civil, even then that idea of collaborative was not there. But when KTU was formed, I had a chance to work as Vice-Chancellor of KTU for a brief period. By that time, I sorted out all those issues, how the degree can be given and all. And when I came to CUSAT also, this actually pricked my mind. Why they are not thinking of interdisciplinary learning, interdisciplinary research? So that is how we brought that transdisciplinary, interdisciplinary research in Cochin University of Science and Technology. Why can't disciplines across civil engineering or science of chemistry and management, why can't they combine and do? That was the idea. So we formed interdisciplinary research groups and all. Before finishing or before seeing the fruitful product, I had to, my tenure was over, and then I joined JAIN University. But that time I was very much reluctant. All these years I was in government, and how this private sector, how is it going to function? I didn't have much idea that this private sector will be giving us so much opportunity. I didn't have any idea. But I thought, meeting the chairman, I thought that he's a visionary, so I will join the. But to my dismay, I would say that they are crossing all boundaries. The national education policy to its fullest extent. What is national education policy? We today also there was interview for computer science teachers. We asked them, what is national? They are teaching in many colleges here in universities also in Kerala, but they don't know what is the essence of national education policy. They know a little bit. They are saying about school education. What is the impact on higher education? That is not known. So I thought that we are fortunate. In JAIN, we are fortunate because we know the essence of this national education policy, and we have practiced it. That is outcome-based education, experiential learning, immersive techniques. All this we are practicing. It's not on the paper, not for any assessment or anything, but it is in its fullest sense we are practicing it. And all the teachers are given training for that. And now we are a step ahead because of the advent of AI. We know that the job market, it is not that students won't get job, but we have to prepare the students for the future. So that is our idea, and now we are again transforming education, like teacher-student only will be there, and the syllabus also, how it is more advanced from this national education policy. We have to, when we form the syllabus also, we have to be within the framework of UGC. So we see that we are within the framework of UGC, but 30% we can always deviate from that. So in that 30%, we are bringing epistemology, we are bringing real life projects, everywhere that is woven. Sustainability is woven into each curriculum. So that is how we are transforming. The transformation is in the process. Engineering we have already transformed, but for other courses we are transforming the education. So it is that how do we welcome these changes? Why should we have changes in education also? We have to think, because we have to create passion in the students. Education should not be a boredom for them. How can we create passion? How can we make them curious? Like Pylee sir always said, we have to, the students have to be inspired. Students have to be curious. Students have to ask questions. Students have to be creative. How can we do this? Only through such trends we can inculcate passion, inculcate curiosity, inculcate creativity, and take off that boredom. All this we have to do, because AI has advanced like anything. They get all this, whatever we learned earlier, all this they get at their fingertips. Why should a teacher come and again teach on the board? And also COVID, if we think of COVID also, it did one blessing, because we are used to online also now. We are not, today also when we conducted interviews, some came on online. We don't have any hesitation. I was thinking once when I was in CUSAT, before COVID, we had to conduct one interview online. So much permission we had to take. So whether it will be authentic, whether the governor is going to agree, all these were the questions. But now it is a part and parcel, thanks to COVID in that way. Because online education, and we can access the global education, the student exchange also, we are thinking of the internationalization of the education. All these we can access now. And thanks to JAIN, who has taken me as Pro Vice Chancellor, because I am always fascinated about modern trends in education. So that is only what I would like to tell you. It is about how passionate we can be in the subject area is what education should do. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for that enlightening and thought-provoking session. We will now move on into an interactive segment of the program, the Q&A session. I request the audience to kindly keep your questions brief and to the point.
Outcome-based education in every course. There will be course outcomes, CO, we call it as CO, and course-specific outcomes. Because how we do is, when we frame the syllabus itself, we have to create the learning. It is called learning parameters. And in that learning parameters itself, first we have a module. It was earlier module-wise this syllabus used to come. But in the first module itself, what all CO parameters are there, that is course objective parameters are there. First, there is a course on, let me say, operational research. There is a course. So what is the course objective of that? Then how this is satisfied? Course objective will not be 1, 2, 3. The student should be able to do this. Student should be able to define this. Student should be able to understand this. All this would be the course objectives. But once we define that, these modules are then connected to which all course objectives, when they study this first module, which all course objectives they are going to satisfy. Like that, it will be spelled out that these teachers will prepare beforehand itself. Once the syllabus is prepared, the teachers will have to prepare this and keep it ready. Then only they start the semester. And once they start the semester and they teach the students that way, when the students write the examination, there is an attainment also, because whether they have this question paper will be framed in that way that this course objective is, if they answer this question, this much attainment they can get. So that attainment also comes as a part of that. So that way, a student learning this, earlier it was like we have a syllabus, whether it is covered, whether they have understood the as earlier I said, whether they have understood the design or whether they have understood the practical aspects of the design, we are not bothered when as teachers. But now it is what is intended out of this has to be through this course attainment, etc. We are testing it and we are knowing that whether the student has actually got the course objective.
Can I ask a follow-up?
Yes, yes. Sir.
Sounds like it's on a theoretical basis.
No, sir. I said about the syllabus, but every syllabus, every module, if there is a field work, if there is a field orientation is required, that is weaved into the syllabus. That field visit is required or a project. Sometimes it is, for that module, there should be a small project done for a field study or something like that. It is all weaved into the syllabus. So when they do the syllabus itself, when they cover the syllabus, this comes automatically. That will be one of the course objectives. That is, they go to the field and they understand that and then that. So it is an activity based also. How it is done is, all courses we have activity also as part of it. And now what we are doing is that I am not very clear. We have started only. This philosophy also is twined into it, because value system is degrading in the younger generation. So what they do is philosophical way of viewing this any content, as well as the social. They should know what is happening in society. So the social outlook also the students should know. First semester, they might not go into the core area. They will be given the syllabus in such a way that they are open into the society. They will go into the society and see what is happening in the society, what does society require. The main person is one Jawahar Nason. He was earlier the Vice-Chancellor of Savita University. So he is hired by JAIN University to advocate on this. So today also he was saying that in the medical field of, when they do the medical education in US and UK, what they do is, we will never think that they have to learn about humanities. Doctors have to learn about humanities. They have to learn about poverty. Engineers might not be required to learn about poverty because doctor's profession is twined into that. So they have to learn about poverty. So the doctors will be asked to go, doctors means who are studying MBBS, will be asked to go and not in US they might not see poverty. In UK also they might not see poverty. So to learn about poverty, they will be asked to go to any other place that in Africa, some areas where there is poverty, they will be asked to go and stay for 3 months. That is the way we have to approach. When we might think that why should we learn humanities? Why should an engineer learn on humanities, not about poverty, but an engineer also should know what is happening in the society. So he should know about that. Not in the book, it is not confined to the books. It is the societal learning. You can ask, sir.
It's nice to listen to you. I mean, quite famous in papers for the last 10 years or so. So KMA, they have to thank KMA for bringing you here. I mean, listen to you in a nice manner. You have explained today's concept. Now, my doubt is, since you have transitioned from regular engineering college to DT, then you came to university. How tough it was. Now, Cochin University, I believe, has politics there. You are bringing in a lot of refinement in the system. How was it accepted? And then now, of course, JAIN, you are having a system which is quite accepting your policies, or rather, aligning.
No, actually, there is a professor in IIT Madras. His name is Devdas Menon. Mathew sir might be knowing. So when I was offered this Director of Technical Education was a selection post. So I had gone there, attended the interview. There was so many people, all principals can apply for that post. So it is selection post, and I was selected. So then Devdas Menon asked me, you are interested in research. How will you go into administration? He was asking me the question. You will find it very tough. I said, anyway, they have selected me. Now, if I don't accept, it will be something. But research I can carry out parallel. So I carried out research also. But a researcher, I feel that can be a good administrator also. That is from my experience I have learned. Because in research, there are different qualities which we acquire when we do research. Earlier, as a teacher, I used to get very angry at the students. I used to say that this is not the way you have to write, like that. Then after I did my research, I knew that that was not the way to approach anyone, not only student, any employee. We have to look in their angle also. Why they are protesting? What is the actual reason? Is it only politics, or is there any reason? Like when I was the Director of Technical Education, I introduced this file management system. So there was a lot of opposition because they don't want that. They will, this computerization and all is difficult. What will the typist do? What is the job of the typist? All these questions were thrown at me. So I thought, how can I answer that? Then I called them. I said, let us do it partially. You can, you take the help of typist. Typist will type for you in the computer. You can look at, read it, and then write whatever notes are to be given. You can dictate to the typist and then let the typist type it on the computer. So the job of the typist is not going to go. Like that I could win their hearts, and I said it will be only very, very, it will not be at one stretch. It will be very slowly you will be transferring to. So I could win them, and that was introduced. Then I introduced biometric. So much was again opposition, because they think that punching will, they can't leave at any time. All these are in government offices. That also I said, if you can't punch, the other system also will prevail. You can sign in the attendance register. Parallelly, we will punch also. After some time, when you are confident that this, then some half an hour and all, so much leniency also I introduced, because we are introducing the punching system. You can do this that way and all. Finally, the punching system was also introduced. It should not be thrown at them at one stretch that you have to do it. It should not be a dictatorship. It should be democratic. That is what I learned. In CUSAT also, I saw that there was one hostel, Sanatana hostel, where many people who have passed out from CUSAT were staying in that hostel. That information was coming to me. It is student hostel. Then who have passed out or who have failed, who are some, and their friends, some advocates, all are staying in that hostel. If I go and say that you all have to vacate and clean, that will not, because politics is there. So how to deal with this politics is very, very difficult. Then I thought that how I can, what can I do? I thought that ragging, if I bring ragging, everyone, even politician, is very much scared of ragging. So I said, to prevent ragging, one hostel is going to be allotted to first year students alone. So to the political leaders also I said, so much ragging is happening. So Sanatana is now allotted to first year students. So I'll go there and see that all seniors, I didn't say that outsiders and all. I didn't mention that. I said all senior students will have to vacate and go, and I will allot them the hostels, whichever hostels I will allot them. They will have to go. So politicians, external politicians did not approach because it was ragging. They didn't want to spoil their name. But students were objecting to it because senior students were also staying there. They said that can't be done. Then I went and sat in the hostel. At 6 o'clock I went. They said they won't go. Then I sat there. 7, 8. So media also came. I was sitting there. Finally they did satyagraha, everything they did. I said, you are not sent out, you are sent to a different hostel. That hostel is not good. I said, whatever deficiencies are there in the other hostel, I will come there personally and see that it is all done, and you are given the same type of services there also. Finally, at 9 o'clock, they gave me one glass of water. Till then, I didn't drink any. So I drank the water. Then they said, will you have food with us? I said, yes, we will have. They had, and finally at 10 o'clock, they all went out, and I could make it first year hostel. So that way, we will have to think of different approaches. Usually I pray to God before doing all this. Then God will give us a way. That is my thing. I don't know. People might differ. it is my.
Madam, if I may ask, namaste to you. I think you beautifully brought out the, the old methods of teaching, and then how you've gone on to using the NEP methods and what's happening now, the interactive methods and things like that. Beautifully brought out. I just want to know, what about the Indian knowledge systems?
Yes.
Is there, have you
Yes.
introduced?
I forgot to say that Indian knowledge system has to be weaved into our curriculum. Now we have not only in some subjects it is there, because we thought that how can we bring in Indian knowledge system to every subject, but now it is compulsory that we are finding ways to bring in Indian knowledge system to every course. There will be module for, it is not a module separate Indian knowledge system, it will be again weaved into that. Wherever Indian knowledge system provides some input to that subject area, that domain area, that we will bring in. That is how we are doing it. Thank you for bringing that also. I forgot to mention that.
Good evening, madam.
Okay, sir. You are my guru.
Now, what is your thought on the disruption which is happening and will continue to happen with the evolution of AI?
Sir, AI, of course, disruption is happening, but we think that the job type is going to differ. We have to be decision makers. AI cannot make decision. That is the only drawback AI has. AI can do whatever it is trained to do. It is trained to do something. It can write program, it can write all those things it can do. But which is good? Which is the best in this? Or what? So that decision, that our human intelligence only can make. So we have to train our students to make thoughtful leaders. That thought process, we have to train them in that.
Good evening, madam. Hi. I wanted to ask a question. See, I passed out in 2000 out of 12th. So within 10 years, everything changed. You had a mobile phone, things were happening. So I don't blame my teachers for not knowing something like Swiggy could happen, 15 years from now, or 20 Swiggy or Uber. But when we talk about NEP and teachers going beyond, are teachers themselves capable, and are they inspired enough to actually inspire our youth right now? Are they taking that extra effort that is needed for a successful completion of NEP, let's say?
Sir, that's a good question. Always what I have seen with my experience, 80% are always inspired. Always there will be 20% who might not be inspired. With this 80%, we have to move on with the show. See that 100% students are inspired. 80% teachers are there always. 20% will be there. Sometimes it might reduce. In as far as JAIN, this campus is concerned, I think 95% are inspired teachers, because from the first one I have recruited. All have been, it is not my greatness I am saying, it is a new campus. This inertia, if it is there, it is very difficult. When I joined CUSAT, lot of inertia is there. They don't want to change. They are used to that old system. One fine morning, one person is coming and you have to think in this way, you have to think that way. They won't change. It is very difficult to change them. There also what I did was, there were around 100 vacant posts of teachers. Everyone was really reluctant to fill that post, because they said if we fill the post, there will be court cases, because politics will be involved. I said, no, I'm not bothered about any politics, or I am not bothered about cases, because I'm going to do only justice. So I filled 100 posts. But there were 1 or 2 cases came, court cases came, but that all, we could win. Political parties both political parties were against me because I didn't listen to them. They both don't like me also. That I am not bothered. But once we do that, it should be justice to the merit of the teachers. And it should be like whether the teachers are passionate. And always I saw to it that the experts coming are from IIT or that level. Experts only I will invite. And I won't interfere into their circle. I will say that you just test their knowledge. I will just test their attitude. And both way we will decide.
Ma'am, can I ask you a question? I'm Dr. Bhaglashmi from SCMS Cochin School of Business.
Okay.
Now my question is slightly deviated from this. There is a mad race for quality standards, accreditations with the ACBSP, AACSB and NAC and NBA. But in this mad race that institutions go for, I see that there is a shift from the pedagogy to the compliance standards, maybe. Now, does it bring down the quality of education? Now, what we see in Kerala and maybe in a macro level in India, a lot of our students are going to the foreign land to get educated. Is it that the quality of teachers have come down and to the question that the previous question that the 80-20% rule applies anywhere? That is true, but then the mad race of accreditation that we see where we are loaded too much, not on academics, but on the administrative burdens, the workloads, the stretched hours. Doesn't that affect the quality of teaching?
It might affect. I don't say no, completely no to it, but there also, as administrator, we can see that the teachers are given leisure time. How I do is, my colleagues are there, they won't object to it, because 3 Saturdays are working for us, for JAIN. I can't tell Bangalore that these teachers are so much lauded that they won't agree to it. So what I have done here is, in my area, I have the compensatory of privilege. I can give compensatory of, I can give duty leave to the teachers. So what I do is, if they work beyond 8 o'clock, I give them compensatory of. So that way, they are made happy. So they work. That is only my own strategy. As you said, the teachers have a lot of administrative work. What you said is correct, this compliance and all. But we can't say that we don't want it because the whole UGC demands that, and we have to have that NAC accreditation. Now itself we are A++ and with 4.71. So we have to have more than that. So we can't go back. So teachers will have to work hard, but in between some incentives we provide them to make them happy. But their passion doesn't decrease. As I said, this 80% always are very passionate. Even if they work with these incentives and a motherly attitude to all of them, I think they work. I don't have any kind of issue.
Thank you, ma'am. May I now invite our Vice President, Mr. Dilip Narayanan, to hand our token of appreciation to the speakers of the day. Dr. J. Letha, ma'am.
May I invite Mr. Epen to do the honors?
And Professor Ommen Mathew.
Thank you everyone for your engaging participation. As we come towards the conclusion of this evening, I invite Mr. K. Anil Verma, Honorary Secretary, KMA, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good evening. we had a nice evening, and we had two eminent personalities speaking to us. And thank you, Ommen sir, for taking us through the life of Sri V Pylee. And I understand that teachers should be, I think, students learn, they study and they don't learn, because the teachers, if the teachers are not good. I think teachers should be like Pylee sir, they should inspire, and students should aspire for that, for the growth. Thank you, sir, for remembering Sri V Pylee. Thank you so much. And Letha madam, you know that you have heard, I think many of us have heard. She took us to that from 1976 CET to CUSAT to JAIN University, and the difference, the transformation. And it's really happening, I think, because the AI coming in, I think it is going to be a different world altogether. And she said about the decision making, you can grab all the information from AI and you should be able to judge the information and take decisions. But I don't know how the learning goes, how capable the people should be, to judge. I don't understand. Maybe time will prove. Thank you, ma'am, for being with us and giving away the lecture, and it was very inspiring. Thank you, ma'am. And also thank all the members, past presidents, MC members, student members, and all invited guests. Thank you and good night.